In today's video, I'm going to teach you the top 3 secrets to playing lockdown man coverage defense in Madden 25. Now, you may have played against somebody and you wondered to yourself, hey, why is his man coverage sticking like glue to my receivers and my man coverage gets cooked? Or you might have seen some pros play and wonder why their man coverage seems so much better than yours. Well, the answer to this question is they know the secrets to man coverage that you don't. And after watching today's video, I promise you guys your man coverage will improve by 100 times. So this is stuff that you can use from any defensive playbook and really any formation on defense. But if you're going to be playing successful man coverage, I would highly recommend using some sort of nickel or dime formation. You really don't want to be playing a lot of man coverage if you're in formations that don't have extra defensive backs, because linebackers are not going to cover in man as good as secondary players, whether we're talking corners or safeties. You're going to notice a big difference. So now the first thing I want to look at is some secrets of how to shade your man coverage. When you know these secrets, your man coverage is going to get 1,000 times better with shading compared to not shading. And let's be honest, zone coverage is not very good this year. It's broken. So playing man coverage with shading is going to be your best bet. So I'm just in the stock man coverage here. And I personally prefer to press my coverage, because when I press my coverage, I'm going to get the DBs lined up directly over the top of the receivers. And, that's going to give me the best chance for success. Now, also, you need to pay attention to alignment. As you can see, by default, this corner over here on the left against certain formations, your corners will line up weird. You want them directly over the top of the receivers. So sometimes if I notice that they're lined up funny, I move them just a hair directly over the top, because that's going to allow them to play their man coverage assignment better. Now, on this game, if you're going to shade your coverage, you have to know the proper way. So there's essentially one big key of knowing how to shade your coverage, and that's basically what type of man coverage you're playing. So if you have safeties over the top, you really don't have to worry about getting beat deep. And anytime I have safeties over the top, I'm going to shade my coverage underneath. Now to do this, you hit the coverage audible, which is triangular Y. See your menu pops up. Shading underneath is down on the right stick. What this does is this is going to allow your DBs to play more aggressive undercut routes, and they know they have help over the top. This will help a lot on posts, slants, corners. Now, the second part of this, which is the first big secret with shading, is most people don't know you can actually shade your coverage 2 ways. You can shade them up and down, or I should say up or down, but after you do that, you can also shade them in or out on top of the up or down. Now, this makes a huge difference, because if you just shade down, sure, your man coverage is going to play good. As you guys can see here, most of the routes are guarded pretty well. There wasn't really anything blatantly open. If you take a look at the replay with just a shaded down, our defenders were playing underneath of the receiver, a trail technique. And that's good on most routes. As you guys can see here, pretty much everyone's guarded with one exception. This post did get about a yard or 2 separation. And that's because we did not shade in or out. We only shaded underneath. So how do we fix this? Well, again, best bet is to shade underneath and then shade either in or out. So whether you shade in or out obviously depends upon what types of routes they're beating you with. Are they beating you with posts, slants, drags? Are they beating you with corners? What's getting open? Well, in that case, a post got open. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to shade my coverage underneath, and then I'm going to also shade my coverage inside. So we're going to see coverage underneath, and then also inside. Inside is to the left on the right analog stick. So again, doing this, you're going to notice these guys are going to play the in-breaking routes way better. So let's see how this looks. Now, keep in mind, guys, if you do have no safety coverage over the top, it's better to shade your coverage over the top, because there's no safeties to protect you deep. So remember, if you're playing like a cover 0 blitz, you always shade over the top, and then you can shade either in or out in combination with over the top. But better man coverage is going to be with shaded down, so it is nice to have your safeties, over the top. But let's run this play back and try to go to the post here. You guys can see that post is guarded. So because that post is guarded, the quarterback had to try to lead the ball further away from the receiver to try to basically generate some separation. But because we had the safety over the top, he was right there for the pick. If you're looking to get better at Madden 25 and win more games, sportsgamers.com is the place to be. Check out my Madden VIP membership, where you get access to all of my Madden 25 content all year long. You'll get access to every offensive and defensive game plan I release, all of my secret premium tips that I release every week for my VIP members, and finally, access to my VIP community with guaranteed updates all year long. Click the link in the description and use coupon code DUKE for 10% off your order. Let's dominate together, boys. You guys can see here, bam. Now, if you look this time, the corner route got separation, and that's because we shaded inside. So now you're probably wondering, well, how can I not get beat by in or out breaking routes? And that leads me to my second secret in man coverage is not only can you globally shade your entire secondary both up or down and in and out, but you can also individually shade on top of your global shading. Now you might be wondering, if you're a newer player, what is the difference? Global shading, which is what I just did, that means you're shading every receiver on the field a certain way, right? Whereas individual shading, that's only shading the specific receiver that way. But we can do both at the same time. And I'm about to show you. Now, before I do that, if you're new to the channel, I do free daily Madden 25 videos. I do gameplays and I do tips. So if you enjoy high-level Madden content, subscribe to the channel, drop me a like, comment on the video. If I can get to 500 likes on this video, I will post another secret to man coverage. So let's get it, boys. Let's go. All right. So we're going to go with our global shading up and down and to the inside. So the global shade, again, you hit coverage audible, triangle Y, and then down for underneath. Once again, coverage audible, triangle Y, to the left for inside on the right stick. Now, this is what we did the last play. Covered the in breaking routes perfectly. However, that corner route, it did get open. So what can we do about this? Well, I already globally shaded my coverage underneath and inside. So my in breaking routes are good. For the corner route, what I'm going to do is I'm going to individually, that's a mouthful, individually shade them outside. Now here's how I do this. So once again, I'm going to hit the coverage audible, triangle Y. But when the menu pops up this time, we hit the button for individual, that's X. Next, you're going to want to hit the icon of the receiver you want to individually shade. So you got to remember, well, who do they put on the corner route that's beating me? In this case, that'd be X. That's the slot receiver, so I hit his icon. All right, so once I hit his icon, you'll see the menu pops up. So at this point, with the right stick, we have the options. Shade right, shade left. Or we can spotlight him. But what I want to do is shade outside. So in this case, you know, he's lined up on the right. Shade right would be to the outside for the corner route. So I'm going to hit right on the right analog stick to shade him to the right. Okay, now this should hopefully guard everything. So let's see here. And yeah, everything is like literally caged. Now, for some reason, the DB didn't even try to pick the ball. We need that patch, DA. All these patches, we need to patch how DBs play the ball in there, because honestly, that's ridiculous. But that's a topic for another day. I mean, that was horrible. He didn't even do anything. Obviously, in a game, you could click on and pick the ball off. I just can't do two things at once, play offense and defense. You know, I only got two hands. Sorry. Anyways, let's take a look. See how this corner route is blanketed? I mean, there's literally no separation. In route also blanketed. Corner route is all, and post also blanketed. So everybody's blanketed. Nobody's open at all. Perfect coverage. And somehow, our DB just doesn't even do anything. He's like, oh, I'll just let the guy catch the ball. I mean, whatever. But, you know, we'll take that each and every time. That was good defense. It's good defense. Also have to keep in mind, I have Woolen as my slot receiver, or slot corner. He's slow as molasses. He's outdated. I don't know why I still have him there. So he sucks. Obviously, if you have a better DB, he probably would have did a little bit better. He's just so slow. That's probably why that actually happened. If he was faster, he probably would have reacted better. So that's that. So far, we got global and individual shading. The next thing I want to look at is using zone in conjunction with your man. So this is really good to do if you're playing like a cover zero where you actually don't have safeties over the top. This helps. So this is going to involve zone drops. What I like to do when I'm using this is zone drop my curl flats. All right, so let's say that I'm getting beat to the sideline. What I generally would do would have my curl flats. I'll set up to like 25, okay? So I can come out and, you know, I'm just going to make a few subs here. real quickly. Put him here. And we're going to put him there. That's good enough. Don't need it perfect. But in a defense like this, this mid blitz that everybody loves, you don't have safeties over top. So you really don't want to shade down. You want to shade up over top so you don't get cooked beat if they happen to send someone on like a streak or something. But then, like maybe I do want to shade to the inside so they can't throw those posts as easy. In a situation like this, though, I could get beat by a corner route. So oftentimes what I'll do is if they're killing me with a corner route on one side of the field, I'm going to put somebody in a curl flat because I just zone drop to that to 25 yards. Now, obviously, in this case, that would leave the running back unguarded. So typically what I do is I just man him up. I'll just man this guy up. Bam, easy. All right, so then I can even man this guy up too. Boom, easy. And I can use this guy. So what this has done is now, I could have two curl flats if they're beating me to the sideline on both sides. But I'm essentially using the curl flat to take away the sidelines, and then I can use her the middle of the field. So, even though I shaded inside, still, if someone happens to get open, I can use her. So like here, see, there's nobody open. And again, this is because of my shading. So if you take a look at the replay, you'll see if the shade inside, none of these in-breaking routes got open. And, I mean, honestly, neither did the corner route. That's surprising. The corner route probably should have, in my opinion, got better separation. But it didn't. But in either event, I have a safety here in the purple zone waiting. Now, this time, because of the way he ran the corner route, it didn't even go 25 yards. So you can also play around with the depth you drop your curl flats. It really just depends upon the specific corner route they're running. Are they stemming it? All that type of stuff. It's important. So if they're running a shorter corner, maybe try putting your curl flats at 15 or 20. If they're running a deeper one, try 25 and 30, right? So you got to play around with the zone drop depth depending upon the specific route they're beating you with. So that's pretty much it, man. Hope this video helped y'all out. It definitely should. I promise you, you implement these tactics into your man coverage, you're going to see it improve a lot. So smash that like button. Until next time, it's your boy Duke, and I'm out of here.